Hi there, traders. This is Brad Gilbert with today's trading action. All right, now the markets are clouded by this geopolitical event. That sort of war across the Middle East seems to be spreading quite rapidly now. Iran, everyone getting involved, and it's going to probably escalate. And what that does for us, like it has done for 1,000 years, is push the price of oil up, right? And you can see this very clearly. So there's been a bit of a rush to the dollar as a safe haven at this point. The dollar index is a good example of what's going on the dollar. I mean, dollar Swiss and dollar yen is hardly moved, but you can see here dollar CAD, it's not going up with the dollar. And that's because oil has rallied about $4 per barrel. And that's put downward pressure on dollar CAD, right? The Canadian dollar appreciates. But you know what? We had really nice sort of clean upward trends in euro, sterling, Aussie, and Kiwi. And traders who are on those trends have been cleaned up and they'll be extremely disgruntled, right? And that's what geopolitical events do. They shake the markets from their normal natural flow and it just comes into a bit of a safe haven trade. Now, I don't expect this to last too long, right? But it's enough to shake down the markets. And that's what you have to sort of be aware of. Looking at the economic numbers today, there's not a lot coming out, which is probably a good thing because it would be wasted on the market, right? We got Eurozone unemployment figures. Yeah, it's not a big number anyway, but the market will not be paying attention to that as we go through the next 24 hours because the geopolitical event will dominate, right? So that's what you have to sort of be looking at. And don't get sort of all bent out of shape if you've been stopped out on a long euro, sterling, Aussie, Kiwi position. You've just got to work with what's in the market. And if anything, let this be a lesson to you. And I know this has been going on for some time, Israel and Palestine, all this sort of stuff. But once it starts to escalate, the US are partly involved now, helping out Israel, and there's bombs going off everywhere across a number of different countries. So that's where it's going to escalate. That could go into more of a bigger global event. If anything, oil is the trade. And for that matter, the Canadian dollar makes a lot of sense, right? And so you're going to see this impact, the geopolitical impact, shake down various markets, right? The equity markets are taking a bit of a battering at the moment, right? No real change in the US Treasury yields, but what it's done is it's created a little bit of disharmony across the major currency pairs. Safe havens, well, keep an eye on those as it goes forward. If it escalates, well, then you'd think they would start buying yen and Swiss. And obviously the oil trade is in play there as well, right? So if you're trying to think that it's easy to sort of pick apart these geopolitical events, I can tell you it's very hard because momentum can stall or start very quickly, right? And it can be over and turning around depending on what's going on. Now, most of these attacks appear to be happening during the European session. So I'd be watching that. Obviously, the North American session with the US getting involved, it is a bit of a cluster, right? It's just a bit of a mess, right? What I'll be looking forward to is it sort of dissipating, and then you're going to start to see reversals of these recent moves, okay? And if you want to look at a sort of technical perspective, okay, what are we looking for here? Well, I've got the calendar there, but the live trade analysis, which will be automated very soon. If you have a look across the major currency pairs, we have conflicting short-term and long-term direction. The currencies are sort of mid-range. The only one that really lines up, which is no surprise because it's part of the geopolitical event, is dollar CAD, right? So Canadian dollar appreciating, going with a stronger oil. I'd be watching dollar CAD for now. It does look like the best trading instrument. All right, guys, that's it from me. There's not much more you can do. Just sort of sit back, pick off the instruments that you can see, and look for better trading conditions as we go through the week, right? Hopefully this doesn't last through the non-farm payrolls because that event will become a non-event, and these things will just wash around with the bombs at this stage, right? Nothing you can do about it. Relax, look for opportunities. Definitely dollar CAD if you're looking for something to get into. But I'll be looking to get short dollar CAD whilst this is going on. As soon as it stops, well, then that's when dollar CAD is going to shoot to the top side. All right, guys, have a good one. All the best. Cheerio.